So great. Here's my thing then. You talk about being realistic. Okay, we're going back in history now, right? So you have this idea. Mom says it's a good idea. Girlfriend says it's a good idea. Doug says it's a good idea. But where do you go from there? You didn't have the connection. You didn't have the people. Right there, a lot of people would have said, well, there goes the dream. It was nice, but what do I do now? They
Like
would have
you,
gave up right there. Then
like
you sit down.
keep going.
Then you sit down with yeah, a designer, and the designer says, here's the idea. Here you go. Check it out. But now you got to get somebody to develop the design, right? You sit down with the developer, and the developer says, well, yeah, I could do this for you, but this is how much it's going to cost,
Mhm.
right? So this is what really inspires me about you guys is that there was a hurdle and you guys overcame that hurdle using what you guys had in place. You know, Gray out there, he's driving an Uber, he's asking people, how do I make these connections, right? And then you go to that point where, okay, let's put some money down, but it's not going to be that cheap. And you guys, from what it sounds like, you didn't have the money right there. Somebody would have gave up right there on the spot. Why did you guys not give up? Why did you guys keep going from there?
I think for
Hey,
us, we never gave up on anything. Like very persistent, we're very tenacious, and when we put our mind to something, we don't. We're 100% like gonna make it happen. We didn't have anybody to model, so we wanted to be pioneers, at least from what we our knowledge of who did what. We wanted to be pioneers. We want other people to see that it can be done. You can come from these circumstances and do this. We both have children, and they got this. They're there with us every step of the way. They're seeing that it's getting done, and it's how far we're getting, as well. So it's like you have a lot of eyes on you. On top of that, it's ourselves, like keeping our like
yeah, it's just that drive.
yeah, keeping ourselves in line. Like, hey, you got to do this. You got to and we
Yeah.
learned a lot of stuff the average person wouldn't know unless you did the same thing that we've done. So you guys have to don't give up. Just just ask questions, because the worst thing that can happen is somebody saying no, and then you just go to somebody else or go to another place. Like I'm in a whole new area now, and like the opportunity is endless, and it's really like surreal to be actually out here. Like I cut out, like I'm away from the nest. I think about that every time, like, or every day. Like there's no going back. We've been through some crazy things while we've been here that would make anybody go back. But we're still here, and we're still pushing. And like Doug said, we're really close to being there. We got that validation. We have investors. We had NFL players hit us up wanting to know about Mower, and it's like, man, we know we're there, but we got like a little bit more to go, and then we're just gonna bust down that wall, and we're gonna be there.
Yeah, and it's just that
Yeah.
drive too. Like, I mean, I feel like that's just us. That's just our nature. Like, we want to keep going, and we're not going to give up. Like, I mean, both of us. I had my daughter at 17. And fresh out of high school, and Gray had his son a year later, right? And so those are the stories that people don't know. Like, on top of everything, we got families. We got you know I had a son that was born in January, and he was born at 23 weeks, and he went through 8 different surgeries, and lost some of his small intestine, and even now he's on a feeding tube and a central line, right? And so through all that, I'm still pushing through, with Mower, right, on top of working, and the stuff that some personal stuff Gray went through down in Texas with some stuff, right? And that's just us. Like, we're just not gonna give up. We're gonna keep going. And and I don't know if you guys are hip hop fans, but I see this all the time where Nipsey Hussle, he said that the difference between him and other people is he just didn't give up. He just kept pushing, he kept grinding, and that's what we're doing. Like, I mean, we've been through so much. Like this year, like if you guys really knew like everything we've been through this past year between Gray and at a personal level, is like we talk all the time. Like, man, like, I don't know how we're still I don't know how we're still pushing through everything we've been through. But that's just us, man. We're not going to give up. We're going to keep going.
The marathon continues.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's just, it's hard to answer that question because I feel like that's just us. That's just who we are. We're just going to keep pushing this thing, and until we're forced to give up.